Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? It is a beautiful Tuesday in Central Florida. And I'm sure it's a beautiful Tuesday in California. What's up, Galvin?
What up, J-Lo? Yeah, it's great out here, dude. It's like 75. It's awesome. I love it.
Oh, yeah, dude, I went out for a little bit. I got my hair cut today. I got all of them cut.
Look at you. Look at you. Are you getting ready? It's because we're going to Vegas this weekend?
We're going to Vegas. And my barber was like, hey, you've got a hat like sunburn going on back here. Have you seen that? I go, oh, let me see. In Phoenix, the sun never got to it got on my face a little bit, but it just was all behind me the entire day. It was crazy.
And just hammered you.
Hammered me. By the way, thank you, WFO Joe. I was watching his show. He was trying to get off in an hour and a half. Derek Green showed up straight out of WFO. He's like, the Jasons are behind me right now, and they're pushing me to get off. Jim Essex is there. What's up, Jimmy Essex?
And we appreciate Joe Costello's unwavering support of the show because, as you know, if it wasn't for Joe Costello, who literally looked at us when we said we have a dumb idea for a podcast and said, you'll never make it past the third episode, we probably actually wouldn't have made it past the third episode. But, he challenged us. Yeah. And then we felt like morally obligated to prove Joe wrong.
Right.
And here we are.
Yeah. And I've lost track of how many shows we've done. We did them all last season. We're probably in the 30 range of some sort, maybe.
I bet I can get you that answer. Stand by.
Okay, cool. You count. Stand by. While he's counting, how's everybody doing this weekend? We came off a fantastic weekend of drag racing. Basically 2 for 1. It was fantastic. We had the Pomona finals. We had Too Fast, Too Tasty finals from Pomona. Then we had the Arizona Nationals. It was a fantastic day on Saturday. If you missed Saturday racing, you missed a whole heap of fun.
Let me tell you, I actually have I have a hashtag thank you to get out in regards to Saturday once we bring our guest on, because it's kind of related to our guest a little bit. So I'll save it for then. Let's see. Last season we did.
Jason counting. He is counting.
Looks like 17.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot for us.
And then this year we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is at 23, so this would be 24. Wow, That's a milestone. I should pay attention. 25 next time. Woo.
Oh, what an anniversary we're gonna have.
I got to double check on that, because if this is the anniversary, then we're late to the party. Okay, that's classic me, by the way. Like, oh yeah, anniversary.
Yeah, that's all right. So we had a lot of celestial things going on the past weekend, and then yesterday,
good word.
Everyone lost their ever-loving minds because there was an eclipse. I mean, it was, you know what, for those people, we have a lot of listeners in Indianapolis, and it went right over Indianapolis. And I saw Jim Cantori was at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and he was looking up at the skies, and he was out there with thousands of people, and they had a huge party going on there. And he had his welder glasses on, and he was doing his thing, and that looked cool. Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, it had a pretty good shot of that, and we have a good text chain going on with the Ender sisters, and we texted,
and you asked Courtney to send you a photo of what the eclipse looked like, and she sent you a photo of herself. Did you post it? Oh, thank God!
There it is. It's like, hey, Eric or Courtney, send us send us a picture. Meaning, hey, send us a picture of the eclipse, not of you looking at the eclipse.
My exact response was, and I quote, "Ding dong." He was talking about the eclipse, which Erica got a kick out of.
Of course. But look there's Courtney looking at the eclipse with I don't think those are.
Yeah, I was like, are those? I don't think those are eclipse glasses. I could be wrong. No, look, I was on an airplane for the eclipse.
Okay.
It was not cool. Cool. We haven't brought cool, not cool back in the 2024 season yet.
Oh, we have to.
Not cool. On an airplane during the eclipse, not cool.
Not cool.
Like I didn't see anything. Maybe it's because I was flying the wrong direction, right? Phoenix, California, I'm flying away from it. But like I landed and I texted my wife, I'm like, hey, I landed. She was like, oh, awesome. The eclipse was so cool. I was like, oh, when was it? She was like 7 minutes ago. You didn't see it? And I was like, no. I saw Earth below me, and that was it.
Yeah, in Florida it was like 57% like obscured. And my wife's like, "Did you see the eclipse?" I go, "Nope, didn't see it." I go, "I wasn't really going to go out looking up in the sky." But we more celestial stuff in Phoenix. We saw this thing kind of go by. That was kind of cool. That is at the
Jason.
track. And what is that? A SpaceX rocket?
It was a SpaceX launch from California. Yeah. Visible all the way in Phoenix. That was really cool. That got Matt DeYoung, our Division 7 director, very excited. He's got way better photos than this crappy one I took, but it was really cool.
Very cool. That so a lot of celestial things happening. The Earth is still here after the eclipse, so we're still rocking and rolling. For those of you who thought we were gonna, be summoned to the higher powers and things of that nature, no, we're still here.
Damn it, we're 0 for 2 in my life. There was the eclipse. There was Y2K. We failed both times.
Yeah, Y2K. I remember that. I remember DJing on New Year's Eve at Disney World, and everybody was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?" I go, "I guarantee you, nothing's gonna happen."
What's going to happen is we're going to get up tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to go to work.
Yeah.
We're going to pay taxes and life's going to go on.
That's what's
going to happen.
That is exactly what's going to happen. But yeah, so it was a good, let's see. IMS put on a great show. IndyCar drivers showed up in everything. Ooh, IndyCar driver. And Nicole, she's super fan. She has she posted some stuff, all kinds of things. Pictures. So check out Nicole on Twitter and all of those.
That we care. Do we care about IndyCar drivers showing up? I don't think we do we?
They're kind of cool. I was at Mecum and Tony Kanaan showed up at the Dodge driving experience. And you always forget that these IndyCar drivers are pretty small. They're tiny. And Tony Kanaan was super tiny.
They are tiny. Yeah, itty bitty. Itty bitty. What else we got to talk about from Phoenix when we bring our ass on? Hey, check this. That was dinner. That was dinner Friday night.
That's the meatball Ferris wheel.
That's like become a Triple J tradition. Jason and Jason. Yes. The Sicilian Butcher. Also these. Yes.
Yeah, those were
good.
It's
like some smoked Italian old fashioned. There's 3 of them in there, folks. Don't worry. I didn't drink all of that by myself in one sitting, but I did order multiple, so I might have drank that much.
Right.
Also, right next to our hotel, so great. Like, hey, like we can find our way home. What is this?
That
was last trip.
That's the last trip.
Trip. Yep. For those of you who are like listening to this, by the way, after the fact, and you're like, what are they talking about? Go subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can actually go back and watch this and see the stuff that we're talking about. So, which, by the way, is a good time for me to bring this up, which I didn't get to post about yet, but I need to, so we'll debut it here. Last week's guest was Drew Austin, Legends Nitro Series, and the folks at Gearhead Coffee came on board as a sponsor of the Legends Nitro Series, and they sent me this incredible care package, which I only got to see before I left because American Airlines is the worst run company on planet Earth. Okay, and I mean the worst company. Like if you thought Enron was bad, wait till you see what American Airlines can do to screw your world up. Okay. And because of them, I got to come home and actually find this package before I left. So shout out to the folks at Gearhead Coffee. You can buy their coffee online. My wife had the one on the far left at the top there is a Texas pecan and says it's phenomenal. She brought me coffee this morning. It was very sweet of her after work. So I didn't make my own coffee today. So I didn't try it yet, but that will be going into the Keurig tomorrow. They have ground coffee as well. But very, very nice of the folks at Gearhead Coffee. And I wanted to make sure that I gave them a shout out and thank them because when Michael Van Bacco and the Team Legends series hit me up, like, hey, we got the sponsor that came on board. And they wanted to send some coffee. Do you drink coffee? And I was like, yeah, sure. I was literally expecting them to send me they're like, do you like ground or K-Cups? And I was like, we got a Keurig. Send me that. I was expecting like a 6-pack. And I got enough coffee to get me through like at least a week and a half here. I like coffee.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was very, 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 very nice of them. So thank you to them.
That is nice of them. Yeah, I'm trying to do something here too before we bring our guest on.
Our guest, yeah. Speaking of thank yous, check this out. So Eric Madera is a really, really good friend of mine. Business associates. He has a Monday through Friday job that my Monday through Friday job aligns with. But he has, through that, become buddies with Paul Lee and our guest, Krista Baldwin. And on the West Coast races, heads out to the track and kind of does the cooking for them in the hospitality area and whatnot.
Right.
Eric hit me up Saturday morning. He was like, hey, check this out. We got these killer porterhouses I'm making. I got a ton. I got baked potatoes. I got salad. Come by for lunch. It'll be served at noon. And as you mentioned at the start of the show, and let me tell you, these things were damn good. Okay. As you mentioned at the start of the show, Saturday was jam-packed. And I literally texted him back like, that is really, honestly, very nice of you to think of me for that. And I would love to get over there because I don't think our lunches today are going to be great. I knew
Jersey Mike's.
Well, no, Jersey Mike's was Sunday. It was fine. The okay. Saturday one was not as good. But it is what it is. But I was like, I probably won't get a chance to eat because if I don't like what we have for lunch, I won't waste the calories on it. And he said, let me see what I can do. And Eric went out of his way to bring me, I didn't take a picture of it because I woofed it down, went out of his way to bring me 2 steaks, a loaded baked potato, a bowl of salad, which it took me like 3.5 hours to eat because we had so much racing going on that I literally was walking over. I took it to J-Lo. By the way, he asked if Logan wanted any. He was like, no, I'm good. I ate already, right? So like I had an opportunity to bring everybody else food. Everybody else had already eaten. But I literally kept walking over to J-Lo. If anybody was at the track, like, Essex was there, and he was like, wow, why does Galvin keep walking over to J-Lo? It's because I kept walking over there to take bites of my food. But it was killer. It was amazing. So shout out to Eric, ETM_hosting on Instagram, because he's got a side business that he's trying to get launched and going. And he doesn't just do the stuff with Krista and Paul at the racetrack. He's got some other stuff he does as well. But homie can cook. And
by the way,
there's a rumor in the pits that he may be doing that again this weekend. So if he does, I'll bring you with me, J-Lo.
Yeah, because when I saw your plate of food, I immediately regretted saying no. And I usually don't.
I opened it, and Jason Logan literally looked down. We were like running top fuel, and he looked down and went, "Damn!" I was like, "Yeah, I wasn't expecting that." I opened it, I went, "Oh, okay." Like, this is big boy lunch. So
yeah, it was big boy lunch. It was like I go, I immediately regretted it, and I will never turn down food again, ever for anybody. Yeah. All right, so let's bring our guest in.
Let's do it. Hold on. You know how we should intro this?
Well, go ahead. Tell me how. Do it. Be the man.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to show you.
Show me.
What do you think it was?
I don't know. What is it? Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Yes!
Some excitement.
Yeah, after I saw that run and I saw your video of that, I was like, Jason, if we can do a show on Tuesday, we need to bring her in.
Yep, first thing you said.
That's
first thing you said.
And as soon as we want to bring her in, look what we got. Dead air. That's Krista Baldwin.
Krista Baldwin in the dark.
She is traveling. Here she goes.
I think she's on her way through. She's on her way through the desert. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Krista Baldwin.
Hi,
What's
Krista.
up, guys?
What's up? Where are you right now? Have you passed the Hoover Dam yet?
We're in between Wickenburg and Kingman.
So no, you have not passed the
Middle
Hoover Dam.
Arizona.
No. Yeah, you are in the middle.
Did you get to see Jason's video that he just put up? Did you see any of that, of your reaction at your time
she has it. I went over to the slip Friday and gave it to her to the truck.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I kind of figured that was what the video was going on when I lost signal.
Yeah, well, let Krista, before we get into it, let's show why you had that reaction. By the way, big shout out to Kurt Spittler and Allie Bland at NHRA. This is why you had that reaction. Watch this.
Not sure if it was a planned shutoff, but it was clean to the point they did shut it off. Meanwhile, for Krista Baldwin, a 375.5 at 325 miles an hour, the best run she has made in her Top Fuel career, and that is a great way, an absolutely great way for her team to start a weekend.
Krista Baldwin still catching her breath down here. This is the fun part of the job, watching somebody get out of the car and scream and yell, and for good reason. A 375, you made a massive investment in the offseason for a car to be able to do that. How does it feel that it's paying off?
Oh, man. I've been waiting for that run for so long, so long. And, man, I got to give up to my crew and the McLeod team. This is insane. Oh, my God, 375. This is absolutely amazing, and I just cannot wait to do it again, and I love this, and I love my team. Oh, man, if this is the start of the season, we're going to keep rolling. We are going to do it. Me and the McLeod and Mainline Rev Chem, thank you all for having me out here. Now let's do it again.
That right there is what drag racing's all about.
Oh,
ladies
gosh.
and gentlemen.
Yes,
That is
100%.
the epitome of it.
100%.
So
Krista's
great.
in the freeze zone again because she's driving through the desert. That'll happen, dude. Let me tell you, that was a cool moment for me. I don't know how many of our fans, know like the life history background. We try not to talk about I try to talk about me a lot, like out of the racetrack or whatever, right? But I grew up going to Pomona, Southern
Right.
California. Krista grew up going to Pomona. She lived out there, Southern California. Father Bobby, late father, was one of the better independent campaigners in the late 90s. Yes, Jim Essex. I'm aware that she's going through a bad area. We didn't time that part out perfectly, okay? But well, it'll be okay. And Katie Butera, who was the first one to tackle her there in the Don Perdome, uniform snake. I used to sit in the grandstands with the two of them. Tracy Chester, Clay Smith Cams now, their families at 24/24. That's where everybody who had some sort of history connection in drag racing would sit at the Winter Nationals and the World Finals. So, I mean, they literally put a sign at 24/24 at the Winter Nationals, like the KB section, basically, Katie and Krista. So, I just to me, that was the coolest thing in the world, because I got to be down there for part of that. The second Krista ran, I told her this. I think she's back now. The second she made that run, usually Paul on the top end is the one who grabs time slips and takes them to the drivers or whatever. And I literally grabbed the time slip away from him out of the machine. Do not tell her what she ran. Don't ruin this. I want to be the one. So that was really cool.
By the way,
one of those
Katie's
big
driving.
moments.
Is
Katie doing the driving?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Crystal, you could have rescheduled this. I didn't know that we were going to put your life in the hands of Katie. It's Katie's fault that you're driving through a dead zone, by the way.
Right. Way to go, Katie. Hi, Krista. Can you hear us?
This is actually kind of
Can you hear
entertaining.
me?
Oh,
Yes,
I
we
hear
can.
you. So, Katie, what was it? I mean, Katie.
I swear.
Katie, Krista, what was it like? Come on, that run, humongous. I mean, you got it all down your first 3
Katie's mom.
She's in the back seat, by the way.
Who's driving? Oh, she is driving. Godspeed. Wow.
Katie is driving. My mom's in the back seat.
Is your mom sleeping? Oh, no. Your mom's probably watching the show from the back seat.
I think she's playing Sudoku.
So good.
Okay.
So, Krista, what was it like with that big run? Tell us all about it.
Well, obviously, you guys know I've been waiting a long time for that run. And I knew when buying Pat's stuff that was going to be the possibility. Obviously, Pomona was kind of like a test session for us. We had a couple of issues. Honestly, it's just, once again, a new car, and I just have to get used to it. So going out there for Q1 at Phoenix, I knew this was probably going to be it. Best conditions you're probably going to see all weekend because it was cool out. It was at night. I hit the gas, and I knew it was on a run, but I thought, maybe it's a mid-80 run because the 60-foot wasn't great. Then by the time I got to half track, it ramped way up. So, it was so fast. And so by the time I hit the parachutes, I knew I did it. I knew it happened. I just didn't know how fast. And I was literally, Jason was dangling the carrot in front of me and at the top end. And he's staring at me, what do you think you ran? And I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? but it
That's
was
great.
so cool. Like, I'm so excited that I actually got to experience it. And now I know what everyone else in the pits is feeling. And now I just got to bring it every other time. And we have to continue to be 370s and be consistent and just bring your A game, because that's how you're going to win one of these things.
Yeah, and it's tough. Each track's different. I mean, if all tracks were the same and conditions were the same everywhere, drag racing would be boring, and you wouldn't have all these runs. But yeah, how difficult? I mean, is it? I mean, I have no idea. To stay consistent, that's the big thing. I know parts, and you got to stay on top of it. It costs a lot of money to do this stuff, but like you said, consistency is the thing. I mean, how hard is it to stay consistent in one of these things?
It's pretty difficult. Like you said, like every track is different. I mean, for instance, we're going from Phoenix to Vegas this weekend. You would think, oh, it's just in the desert. It should be about the same. No, Vegas is much higher than Phoenix. And so we're going to have to change our compression and, spin the blower a little bit different than we did down in Phoenix. But the key is actually your crew. Like, it's just having the same people put the car together every single time. And that's where your consistency is going to happen. Obviously, I have all my trust into Scott Graham, the crew chief, and he knows how to tune one of these things. You guys watched Pat and Spencer just dominate the lower end guys as they come out to the racetrack, and so I'm just excited to be part of that. The consistency, as a driver, I absolutely love doing these 3 in a row, because that is 3 races in a row that I can see the racetrack, see the light, see going down the race, down the groove, and all that stuff. So for me, personally, I like doing it right now. Like, this is one of my favorite swings because I get to see the tree so consistently, rather than, after Vegas, I'm going to stop and not do anything until Chicago. So that's another 5 weeks of not seeing the tree or not seeing the track. So that first run in Chicago, I just got to put myself right back into the swing of things.
Let me ask you this. So you qualified top half of the field first time ever. Obviously, first 75 ever. You didn't have to go first on Sunday. Why did you choose to go first on Sunday? I don't know. I just want to know, because you didn't have to.
I know.
I know. She want to get it out of the way, J-Lo.
I get it. I mean,
well, this is what went down. So we knew we were going to be 7th, right? And we're like, okay, so it's going to be like either first pair or last pair. That's the name of the game with the top field cars. So we said, you know what? We're going to be first pair. I want that national anthem. I want all the pageantry. I want to be on the starting line, looking down that track as, we praise the nation that we live in. And so that is honestly why we picked first pair.
Great reason.
I wanted to hear the national.
That's a great reason.
Anthem.
Yeah,
that is a great reason. By the way, I don't think that it was like a bad decision either. Like, if you would have been, I mean, by the 8th pair, the track was heating up. It was getting tough. Like, I'm pretty sure you took the tire off right at the hit. I'm pretty sure that was some sort of clutch can malfunction. Like, there's top fuel cars don't do that unless there's an issue. So, and Scott Graham's cars really don't do that. Yeah, I figured. Like, Scott Graham's cars do not smoke the tires at the hit like that ever. It's not his style. So, but look, I got good for you though, because I will tell you, I had, there's not many opportunities I get to do pre-race because of Joe. Oh, do we lose her just this time? I want to talk about this with her. All right, let's stand by. I know she will. I know, but we'll stand by. I love that. That's why she did it though.
Yeah, like, of course.
Like, seriously, because I wanted, and I forgot to bring this up, but I wanted to bring up pre-race specifically because I was just it's part of why I know Joe loves to do pre-race, and Joe didn't do pre-race because it was so condensed. Well, I mean, but like, he's usually phenomenal about, even when he's on TV, making sure he's there for it. Like, that's Joe's thing. Nobody takes that away from Joe. He is unbelievably talented at the pre-race stuff, and that's his thing. Like, it's not really race day without Joe standing up there, screaming it's time to burn some nitro. Like, in my opinion, that's part of what that's become part of race day, as much as Come On Eileen being the first song in the morning, or Alan Reinhart saying to the top and qualifying. Like, that's that, it's time to burn some nitro, to me, is like one of the moments of the weekend that everybody looks forward to. Okay, I'm glad Chris is back. I was just saying, I'm glad you brought up the whole majestic part of pre-race, because I multiple times, because I had the opportunity to do pre-race because it was so short, stood up there during the anthem specifically, and could not help but look around that place. It was packed. I mean, it was packed 15 minutes before we rolled the cars out when we were introducing Wyatt Wagner as the Superstock champion. And it gave me the damn chills. Now, I know that is not the biggest racetrack that we race at, but like, you sell the tickets you have available, right?
Right.
And we sold every damn ticket to the race that weekend. And it literally made me emotional. Like, it was one of the coolest moments of my career. And I'm very great. Like, Joe did it last year at that race, and we thought it was going away. Joe gets to, he does it at Gainesville, which is always packed with way bigger grandstands. Chicago last year was packed. I hope it will be again this year. So like, Joe gets those moments,
Sure.
but I know that Joe thinks those moments are badass too, because they are. They're just amazing. But that was like, I was talking to my uncle to Pat about this Sunday night after the race, and listen, there were a couple times during that minute and 45 seconds that our anthem singer was singing, which, by the way, anthem singer's way better this year than
way better,
year.
but
like not even in the same ball. She was fine though. She wasn't bad.
She was fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay, but if fine is our bar for, like, a bad anthem is fine. Like, come on, last year fine, like, we were doing backflips, we were fine. Okay, at this point in the year, at least. So no, I literally multiple times during the anthem made sure to, like, stop and just take mental snapshots, color guard, race cars, crowd. Unintentionally, we got like a flyover in the middle of it. Like, that wasn't even planned. Like, had nothing to do with it. It was just a couple guys with airplanes that decided to fly over. Like, and it was just cool. Like, that race is an elite race on the tour, in my opinion. And
I agree.
Last weekend was frustrating for everybody who works in the NHRA. The sportsman guys have not had a clean race, and it's not been their fault. And I feel bad for them for that. What happened Friday was not the NHRA's fault. It was a combination of things out of there. You can't control cloud cover that wasn't supposed to be there. You can't control ambient temperature. You can't control wind, and you're in a desert. Okay. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, some stuff happened that shouldn't have. And the sportsman racers just have not had a clean event. And so I feel terrible for them. I feel terrible for the fans who haven't really had a clean event at this point. And it's been hard. It's been tough. And so the weekend on a whole, I left like disappointed with the weekend on a whole, but I thought Sunday went really good. And that event is, it would have been a catastrophe to lose that race in retrospect. Like, I think we felt that way going into it in 23 because we're losing races and tracks and we can't really afford to lose them. But now that we've been back to it once, right? And everybody came out again, for all the people who are like, oh, you only sold out last year because it was the last race or whatever. Like, I mean, look at Saturday and Sunday. It was wild.
And the fans are good there too. The fans appreciate it. They love it. There's nobody yelling and screaming at each other. Everyone's just happy to be there. The weather, Saturday and Sunday, beautiful. I mean, I can't believe it rained on Friday. I was like, no rain in the forecast. It was like
0% chance of rain. I was all right. Funny story. I went back and watched to make sure I didn't do this, but it would have been funny. Larry, top end Larry, Sage Safari. I got down there Friday for the nitro session. I went down there for, and Friday night, like there was like a 5-hour stretch where we ran nothing Friday. If for those of you fans who have no idea what we're talking about, and the only thing that we ended up running in the evening were nitro cars. So we ran the Legend Series, and then we ran Top Fuel and Funny Car, and I called the Legend Series. It's what I do, and then I got in the golf cart and went down there. Larry was convinced that there was this moment. We had all this buildup. The track was down basically for like I said, almost 5 hours without having like a real competitive run. The Legends cars fired. the stands are really, in my opinion, pretty full for a Friday at like 5 o'clock where people are still getting off work, and a 1-run race. And I thought I crushed the buildup because they were the first thing on the track. And I just felt really good about how I built this whole thing up. And the first pair on the track, one of them was the Speed Sport car, which like Todd and Jimmy run that car. Jim Broom owns it. The car lives in Tucson. Like John Capps is driving it. He lives in Vegas. She's got like all these like connections to the desert and the valley. And 30 years of Ron Capps. Made his debut 30 years ago. Here's his brother. He's the first car out on a Friday. It's the car from Tucson. I built this whole thing up. Pre-staged rain. And I mean, like, I looked down and they shut the cars off, and I turned to look and I went, what are we shutting them off for? And Mike Rice goes, it's raining. There's no rain in the schedule. Reinhardt goes, look at the window. And Larry I got down to the top end for Funny Car, and Larry goes, just so you know, I am convinced that when it started raining, you said, oh shit, on the microphone.
You might have.
And I was like, I'm convinced I didn't. But I went back and watched it and I didn't. But Larry's laughing about it. He's like, we all thought it. So it was funny to us. Like, believe me, I thought it.
Listen, as soon as I saw one raindrop on my computer, I was like, are you kidding me? I go, that's typical NHRA drivers.
I mean, literally, like, they're pre-staged. Yeah. It couldn't even start. And look, thank you, Jim. I appreciate this, right? But like, it couldn't even start like when they were in the water box or backing up from the burnout. No. Like, they let me get all the way to like, it's Friday, first pair, nitro. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Shut them off.
And we were down for like another 30 minutes. I mean, luckily it wasn't like a downpour.
Right? Yeah, we didn't have to like re-prep the track. I was so pissed.
But that's what happened.
So pissed.
By the way, if you're just joining us right now and you're expecting to see Krista Baldwin, she's driving through the desert right now.
She's in no man's land.
No name, and so she's just she keeps coming in and out. So
she'll be back. Yes, stand please. Stand.
Well,
I know exactly where she's at.
Yeah. Well, while she's doing this, you did very well in Drag Race Bracket Bonanza this weekend. And Joe,
did I? Actually, it's funny. I haven't even looked. I have the hat on.
I think you came in 6th place in Joe's brackets. You did very well. I'm proud of you. Joe actually won his bracket, so if you own the bracket, you better do really good in it. So he actually won this week. But
I'm sure he talked about that on the show. I missed WFO today. I had really
he did. But and he kind of went through this. So if you saw this on WFO's page show today, I'm going to show it again because Reinhardt's been gambling a lot lately. Joe won his bet on WFO.
Reinhardt's on a terrible run of late.
Yeah,
by the way.
he lost to Joe on his first WFO drag race back at and then
yes.
But he
Drag Race Bracket Bonanza.
Yeah, he did win the Richard Freeman bet. And this one is kind of up in the air. And I'm going to see how you guys feel about this because I think he owes somebody something.
A little bit of a long shot.
Hey, J-Lo. I thought Safety Safari needed a shirt. What? They've been working hard.
J-Lo, how good are you? I mean, really, how good are you?
I know, right?
Dinner, Vegas, anywhere you want to go, if you can shoe one that Tim Wilkerson catches. Right
Where's
here in the
Tim?
skag box on the starting line.
Timmy, I got you. Hannah, come take the microphone. I got to shoot one at Tim.
And you're not allowed to give him a laundry basket to start with. If you knock Tim off of the thing, oh, come on. Well, I guess Tim owes us both dinner.
Okay, a little too much power. Let's try this little t-shirt.
Tim didn't realize he was part of the bet. Oh, that's going to be close.
Come on, that was good.
That's going to be close.
What an impressive feat of
athleticism. Whoa. The kid caught it and Tim stole it from the kid? I saw that. You didn't catch that. Oh, you guys are a team? Oh, I got it.
I said it was a team effort. Good job.
By the way, I mean, come on, Jason. All right, let's back this whole scenario up while we're talking about shooting t-shirts. You shot t-shirts on day one or Saturday.
On Saturday. Yeah,
and you did
for the first time in my career. I had literally never held the t-shirt cannon. You can ask Jason Logan as my witness. I had to ask him as he handed it to me. What do I do? I said, what do I do?
You did fantastic. I was like, there you go, Jason Galvin. Didn't miss a grandstand. He put it like he pointed and it went in the grandstand every single time. Me, I missed 3. I was just like, whatever. But Hannah gets upset when people boo her. I mean, I tell her all the time, I go, Hannah, all it matters is you're getting a reaction. I go, it doesn't matter if it's a good or bad. You got a reaction. That's what it's about, right? And
people boo me all the time.
Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. So no one wants to shoot the cannon. So it's like we got to pull people out of the grandstand to shoot the cannon. So Galvin comes over, bam, nails it. And then our friend Allie Bland, who we just put up her little thing. Allie's got a Jason, if you put it back up here, there is a whole battle between Jason and I. Which
it's a
one?
Thing.
Yeah, it's we're trying to be Allie Bland's daughter, Jenna's favorite person. Now, if you don't remember who Jenna is, let's refresh your memory who Jenna is.
God, look at you. You were like,
hi, J-Lo. Hi, dear. Say. Yeah, that's what you do. Big farts.
That's Jenna, and she loves Jason and Jason. She watches this show religiously. And Allie Bland posted on Twitter after Galvin shot shirts, in the battle of who Jenna likes better, which Jason likes better, Jenna has chosen Galvin at this point in time. So then I said, I go, well, did she not see me hit Tim Wilkerson in the box? Then she reposted, yeah, this is going to be a neck and neck battle. But you
didn't hit Tim Wilkerson. You hit the kid next to him.
Man, listen, do you know how hard it is to just dot somebody in that? Come on, that Tim Wilkerson was right there, and I think Reinhardt should owe me at least a beer. I'm just saying.
I'm good with a beer. I'm good with a beer. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that he should owe you dinner. That I don't think he lost that part.
No, I agree. Sorry, we keep knocking each other out.
You win.
See, Allie says, I'm dead. She really does love Jason and Jason. But again, we're just trying to vie for her, her love altogether because, she likes big farts. And that's what I bring to the table.
Yeah. Well, at least you bring something to the table.
Yeah. But listen, t-shirt shooting is an art form. I've been doing it. And Reinhardt said, Evan, our boss said, I go, Evan, did you see that? I've stuck it right in the box. He goes, well, you've been doing it for 30 years. You'd think you'd be good at it by now.
Hey, yeah. Listen, first time I did it, okay? And Reinhardt told me to hit him in the booth.
Right.
I came damn close.
You came very close. I was very nervous. Like
I think I might have hit him in the kneecap. Like it hit right below him on the banner. The Reinhardt was like, there's no way you could hit me up here. And I was like, oh, really? Boom. And like that thing went out of the cannon. And he went, oh.
Yeah, it was like, oops. Now, the best place to shoot shirts is Norwalk because Alan comes out of the tower, out of the booth in the tower. We try and hit him there.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Close a couple times, but
I'm on board with that. Listen, after my first experience, now that I've gotten that out of the way, I will be glad to be the t-shirt shooter anytime. I will be your wingman anytime.
Yeah, Costello's pretty good about doing it, but Hannah wants no part of it. And I'm like, Hannah, come on, man. In
fairness, here's the other thing I'll say about it. You gave me zero warning that thing's heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy.
Like I have like wrist tendonitis from that thing still. Like
listen,
you gave me no warning. Like you gave it to me, and you handed it to me, and I went.
When you hold the thing for like good 3-4 minutes, your biceps tighten up and the whole thing.
Yes, dude. By the time I was done with that thing, my arms were sore. It was like first week of new baby sore, right? Where you're like, so it wasn't like end of the world, but it was just like one of those things in life that you don't expect, right? Like I think like you have a baby, like, and I think this probably happened to you, the first child you had too, right? Like you have a baby and everybody's like, your arm's gonna be sore. And you're like, the thing weighs 8 pounds. How heavy can that be? And after 10 minutes, turns out 8 pounds is pretty heavy when you're not used. When
the baby,
correct, yeah. And so that was. I mean, you might notice there were a couple times if you go back and watch me doing it. There were a couple times I switched hands for like one shot where I switched how I was holding. Instead of left hand controlling the trigger, I was right. I just switched it so I could give my right bicep a break. I was like, oh, I got to switch here for.
By the way, when I hit the skag box and I dropped the cannon and started running around, I was completely out of breath for like the next 10 minutes. I just hit a home run.
You're not a runner.
No, I'm not a runner. Look who's back! It's Krista Baldwin.
Guess who's back?
Sorry, guys. You know, you had to go through like those mountains, apparently.
Yes.
That's all right.
You must be. Are you in like the Prescott area?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. See,
we should have.
Look, it's almost like I went to college in Phoenix and drove to Vegas a bunch. Yeah. Okay, so welcome back.
Yeah, welcome
Yeah,
back.
sorry, guys.
You haven't missed anything. We've just been sitting here in silence waiting for you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, guys. I
But
appreciate it.
somehow our viewership went up during that time.
Right.
It was great.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. So she's back.
All right. She's back. Okay, so now you're a superstar. Now you can run in the 70s. So Friday night I'm penciling you in for a 368 at 331.
No. Not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
I'd like to live in the 70s just a little bit longer. Maybe like 2 more runs, and then
Two
maybe
more,
a
okay.
69.
2 more.
Listen, as long as you do it, round 1 on Sunday, because I don't want to put this pressure on you, but you and all the other ladies in the in Top Fuel totally blew my bracket right out of the water. I was very upset. I'm just saying.
I'm very sorry. You know, me and Katie, we do our own bracket.
Oh, this was going to be a good story.
I think she did this on purpose because I just told you. Yeah.
Oh, she's back. I heard the laugh. All right, she's back again. Okay, you and Katie do your own bracket.
Yeah, we do, and we blew our own bracket too, so don't feel too bad.
Do you pick yourself every time?
Yes.
You have to.
So did you have yourself winning the race?
Yeah.
Excellent. I love it.
Yeah.
You have to. Listen,
I had this conversation on Sunday night. So when I race, I drive one of Tom Bayer's cars, and he's always got a bunch of people with him, and he won Top Dragster. And one of his guys, I'm not going to name him because he had a couple, so we can figure this out. But both of his drivers for the weekend came down to the top end, and one of them was like, I got to go. I got to get to the airport. I was like, you got to the airport? He's like, oh, I got a 6:45 flight. And I literally looked at him. I said, you weren't planning on winning this race this weekend or what? Like, you made a 6:45 flight Sunday night? And Tom was like, thank you. That's like what I told him. Like, who makes a 6:45 flight on Sunday night? Like, take the 11 p.m. flight. Plan on winning the race you show up to, or don't bring the race car. That's my philosophy.
Right.
Correct. Yes.
You know, it's funny. One of my first years doing this, I ran into a racer at one of the airports, and we were leaving on Sunday night and everything like that. And I said, what? And again, stupid me not knowing anything about anything. And I said, hey, we're, so-and-so, you seeing us do our dumb stuff. I go, question for you. I go, do you always book flights this early on a Sunday? And he's like, well, I've got multiple flights booked and different things like that. And I go, yeah, because you could have won this race. And I go, you usually win these races. I go, how? That's weird. He goes, yeah. Things happen, and
who doesn't have that problem? You know who doesn't have that problem?
Who?
Doug Coletta.
Yeah.
He can leave when he wants.
Right.
Well, no, that's not. No, that is not true. That is not true. He can't leave until Connie says we can go.
Well, correct. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yes.
The whole Coletta family can leave whenever they want.
Correct. Yeah. Bob Tasca also doesn't have that problem.
By the way,
as well.
Paul Lee, Richard Freeman. Like, okay, yeah, people who literally just like sit in their trailer and go, all right, I'm tired of this. And they're on an airplane flying over the racetrack 12 minutes later.
Yeah.
I envy them.
If you miss the Coletta plane, when those guys say it's time to go and you're not on the plane,
you're not on the plane.
You get left.
Yeah.
I know people who have been left and they're like, oops,
correct.
We have to find a commercial flight.
Yes.
On Paul's car, we have Rick Fisher, who mixes the fuel and is one of our sponsors for Paul. Yep. There's been times where every single of the Coletta cars went out first round, but Paul went to second round, and they left without him.
Yeah, because Rick flies on their plane. Yeah, because he lives up there. Yep.
First world problems, missing private flights. I know. It's what happens.
Yeah, that's the next tax bracket. I'm on Southwest Air.
You're one just below?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're close.
Yeah, exactly. We love it. So, so how's the rest of? So you say you're not coming back till Chicago. How many races?
No, she's running this weekend.
You're taking this weekend off, and then
listen. I just want to point out that if you're filling out your drag racing bracket bonanza, this could potentially be a really good weekend to have Krista Baldwin do some damage, because historically speaking, at the 4 wide races, we are good for one, like, how'd they get there in the final of every single class, because there's just so much shit going on the starting line and on the racetrack, and people don't know when to pedal and when not, and crew chiefs shut cars off they shouldn't, and drivers pedal too soon when they shouldn't and blow the thing up. And like I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I bet your guys' goal this weekend is go out there and run. If you're on 377 all day on Sunday, you're probably going to the final 4. Like, let's be realistic.
That would be awesome. Let me tell you, like I've had a lot of success at the 4 wides. Had my first round win in the black gold car. I've had, multiple career bests during the 4 wides. The last 4 wide I went to was not great, but hopefully we can fix that. And no, I'm excited for this weekend. I mean, the 4 wide, the format's kind of funky and racers might not like it too much, but I don't know. As a driver, the only thing that's different is I got to remember which lane I'm in when I'm getting ready to stage the car. But other than that, you just keep your head down, go A to B, and hopefully the win light comes on.
I learned something from Tony Stewart today.
Yeah.
Put a piece of tape on your dashboard.
Yeah.
With the number of the lane that you're in.
Yes. Are you kidding me? The whole time, like right before they start the car, I make Dan Minnick, who's the car chief, I'm like, okay, tell me what lane I'm in. And then he says 3. So the whole time I'm driving the car, I'm like 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, yeah. 3, 3, 3,
See,
3.
I like the piece of tape with the number better, personally.
Right.
Like, I read that, like, TSR sent their release out for the week today, and I was reading through it, and that was like Tony's last quote. Tony was like, I actually love the 4 wides. Like, he won the 4 wides in Alcohol Dragster last year. It was his first win. And yeah, he was like, we just put a piece of tape on the dash of the car with what lane number I'm in. And he's like, from that point on, I don't even think about it until the crew chief tells me to pre-stage. And then I look down, okay, what lane am I in? Bump forward, pre-stage, double check. What lane am I in? Okay. Like, pretty simple. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think it would be fun, personally.
Yeah, I don't know any. Again, I'm going to continue to tell people I have absolutely no idea because I've never driven.
Well, you don't have any idea about anything, so
right? But again, why is it so difficult to not know what lane you're in?
So let me tell you.
Thank you.
In the middle,
Krista,
the middle is tough. The middle is tough. I'm not going to 100%, because you're looking the opposite direction. Like, you are looking further over. Like, if you're in 2, you're looking like an extra bulb over, or 3, you're looking at an extra bulb over there. Like, you know what I mean? It's tough. Like, I'm not going to lie. The first time I did it, I'm like, oh God.
I actually think, I think it would be easier for like people with like minimal experience, like there's not like a shot at him, but like, I actually think that like Travis Shoemake would have 0 issues with 4 wide, right? Yeah. Because Travis Shoemake in his life has made like 150 runs in a drag racing car, right? So like, if you're somebody like Krista, who's like spent her whole life at the drag strip and Shemane Fuel for all those years, or like, I've made 400 runs in a super comp car, or if you're somebody who, Sean Langdon's really sharp, so he probably had 0 issue with it, but like, take somebody like him who's probably made 25,000 plus runs down the drag strip in his life.
Right. Easy,
right? And you show up, J-Lo, like, think about this. Like, you drive your car down the street, right? What if I told you, just for the next 90 seconds of your life, in the most high traffic situation you've ever been in, but also the freeway's moving at 85 miles per hour, that when you put the blinker on to go left, it actually means you go right. And if you go left, you die.
Okay.
Like, it would probably throw your world upside down, right? Like, it would just throw you, like, I put the blinker on left, but I got to go right. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like, and that is literally what you're doing in the middle lanes. You spend your entire life at a drag strip in a race car. And if I'm in the right lane, I look at the right side. And if I'm in the left lane, I look at the left side. And that's it. And then you pull up to this race. And if you're in the number 3 lane, you're on the right lane, but you're looking at the left side. And if you're in the number 2 lane, you're in the left lane, but you're looking at the right side. And that part, I 100%, like, you should, it's like 4 wide racing 101. If you're in lane 1 or 4, and I've seen this happen, fine. I'm not going to name the driver, but if you're in lane 1 or 4 and you screw this up, you suck.
Yes.
Sorry. I will. Like, If Matt Hagan is in lane 1 or 4 this weekend and screws it up, I will tell him he sucks. I will run while I do it, but I will. Actually, Matt will probably be the first one to tell you he sucks because you should not mess up lane 1 or 4. That is like the simplest thing in the world. It's just like driving on a 2-wide. But lanes 2 and 3 are very, very
that
different.
makes sense. I mean, I've driven
Very
in a foreign country on the other side of the road, and that kind of freaked me out just a little bit. But other than that,
well,
but only because I was sitting on the right hand side.
Right. Well, and the other part too is like when you go for the burnout, it is super fun to have 2 cars next to you doing a burnout as well. Because like usually you're like, oh, okay, that guy's good. Well, no, this guy goes and then that guy goes, and it's like, oh god, like
I could see that.
Like, oh. It's a little stressful on the burnout.
Yeah.
Too.
Is it any different in the car? Here's something I've actually never asked a driver. Is it different in the car if you're in the middle lanes? Like, because usually like you use the inner ear deal, right? Especially like racing, and you're like, if you're out and you don't see the opponent, you can kind of hear them out your ear. Like, are they right there or not? In case you drive into trouble, right? If it spins the tires at 600 feet, do I need to pedal it or not? And if you can't hear them, then not, right? But can you even tell what's going on in a 4-wide?
Not really. You can't because it's so loud. Like you just don't know where the noise is coming from. But also, the middle lanes has a higher barrier, so you can't see on the other side of you because the barrier is like 2 or 3 feet higher than the normal barrier. So,
right, because it's a retaining wall.
It's a wall.
So it's made to keep the race car in the track. Like
so like I have no clue what's happening if I'm in the middle lanes. What's happening on the other side of me?
I never even thought about that.
That is crazy.
That'd be fun.
Well, and especially in a drag suit because you're sitting so low, like you really can't see anything,
Just one time, I keep telling people, just one time, I want to run a 4-wide super comp race, and people are like, no, you can't do that because you can't race the top end. And I was like, well, we're gonna find out how good everybody is at dialing dead, aren't we? Like,
right.
Let's just everybody dial at 890. Let's see what happens.
Figure out how good. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Right.
She's back. She's back.
But you also you have to know what your car is doing. Like in a super comp car, like you have to be confident that you know how fast you're going. You know what I mean?
Correct. Did you ever run super comp or anything like that?
Nope, I've never done any of that. I started in a front engine dragster, Nostalgia Limiter 1. Back when I was 18, and that was my first car.
Well, look, I mean, actually, in many ways, I think that's harder than super comp. And any one is an index class. It's super. Like J-Lo's got no idea what we're talking about here, but in the heritage. So in the heritage series, like we have super comp, super gas, super street, right? In the heritage series, they have Nostalgia Eliminator 1, 2, and 3. Same concept. You run 760, 860, and 960 on an index, but those cars are allowed no electronics. So you don't have a throttle stop. You don't have a delay box. Like you don't really have a way to dial the car for trying to run that. So you have to, we talk about, Alan and Joe and I talk about wheel racing in the booth. You have to wheel race a Nostalgia Eliminator car. Like if you don't, you just lose. You never went around in your life. You can't, it's not possible. Unless you're just so damn good that you can tune the motor to run dead on the number every time. Which you're not that good.
Which is
newsflash. Nobody's that good. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Lee wants to know.
This is Katie's mom. If you haven't put that together yet.
Yeah, exactly. What'd your grandfather think about that? What'd your grandfather think of your big run? What do you think? Oh, Galvin's out.
Yeah, where'd Galvin go? Ooh.
Oh, he's back.
I had to sneeze.
So I did call Grandpa after the first run. Obviously, he already knew what happened because he knows everything, and I can't do anything in any part of the country without him knowing. There's spies everywhere.
I mean, there's this thing called NHRA.TV, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but he doesn't. I don't think he actually watches that. I'm pretty sure people call him and tell him what I'm doing.
Fair.
Hey, I saw Krista coming out of a seedy liquor store holding a bottle of Jim Beam.
There's been times that I'm like, how do you know I'm here? And he's like, I know people. What are you talking about? So anyways, no, I called him after the 375, and obviously he's like, oh, I saw it already, or I heard about it already. And I'm like, yeah, it was great. And he said he was very proud of me. he said I did a really good job, and he's like, and I'm getting ready to watch it in about 20 minutes on Fox. I'm like, okay, well, you watch it, then you call me back if you have anything else to say. But no, he was super excited. He's super. He says he's super proud of me of, you know, the steps I'm taking to make this work and to, you know, continue the legacy line here. But no, it's cool that to have him so much on my side. There's a few times where he's questioned my decisions, but this one
but he's still
not
proud.
questioning. Yes, he's very, very proud.
Is he? Are we hoping Grandpa's making an appearance in Chicago?
Yep, Grandpa will be in Chicago.
Good.
Of course, he has to be there.
I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah, he only lives like 25 minutes from there,
Right.
so I hope he comes.
How's he doing? Is he doing well?
Yeah, he's doing great. I saw him Easter. I went up and had Easter dinner with him, and he's doing great. A little bit slower now, but still hits the doors of water pretty good. So.
How old is Chris now?
He's 93.
Wow, good for
that's
him.
awesome. I can't wait to be 93.
It's funny that you think you're going to be alive at 93.
I know. It's wishful thinking, but I just want to be that grandpa who says, "Get off my lawn, kid."
You say that right now.
Too.
I know, dude.
You literally say it to the fans in the stands behind you.
I know, right? Listen. I'm getting so old, Chris. This is terrible, and just pray you never get old. But on Saturday night, it was 6:45 in the morning. I'm waiting for Galvin's alarms to go off, but my shoulders and my back were all, I don't know what was going on, but I could not sleep. I had to go scrounge in my little toiletry bag for one Advil. I was like, oh my God, I got to take it.
You know, I have a bottle in my backpack.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know you were scrounging at like 6:45 in the morning through your
bottom
backpack.
Left zipper. What were you going to find?
I know, right? Who knows? That's what I didn't want to go look for.
I don't know, Jason.
I know, but I took this Advil.
Hey, you could have just woken me up and asked me.
No, I would never do that. But I took that Advil and I was like, oh my God, relief. Oh, I'm at the age right now of 53 years old where everything is starting to hurt. I'm so old. God, I can't do it like I used to, Krista.
I get it. I understand. I hit that 30 mark and it's a little downhill from here.
Did you have a midlife crisis at 30? Because I legitimately had one at 30.
I did too at 30.
Yeah, I got a top fuel team.
That's awesome. There's our clip for the week.
You win. Yeah, I didn't do that. I got married.
Awesome.
Is that we had a kid?
Listen, yeah, I had 30 was a big one for me. I was like, oh my God, 40, whatever, 50.
See, that's how I feel. Like I'm gonna get to 40 and be like I got to 30 and I was like, wow, this sucks. Like, I'm now too old to like now if I party, I'm the old guy, you know,
right.
And but I'm not really old enough to be like the cool old guy. I'm just kind of like. I'm in that stage, and I'm in that like 10 to 15 year run now where like all I'm supposed to do is like work and pretend I'm happy if I'm not.
Oh, really? I guess I'm still in that one.
Hey, if you have to pretend to be happy, then something's wrong.
That's why we like you, Krista.
Yeah,
because you do bring the energy of fun, and you're happy to be there. Nothing's gonna get you. I mean, even your car blows. Whatever. I'm just happy to be here, and good things are on the horizon. You always have a positive attitude, and that again, when I saw you jump,
she owns a top fuel team, Jason. That her midlife crisis was to buy a top fuel team.
Well, I know, and owning one of those things, I'm sure you're gonna have plenty of down days.
I know, but her problem, but her problem is that if she reminds herself of that, it gets bad. So
yeah, you know. I guess you go down a dark hole, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
it's a dangerous sport here.
Yeah. Do you ever walk into the track and look at your rig and just be like, "Wow, I could retire if I would just sell that."
I know. I walked in this weekend, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, "What am I doing?" Oh my God.
Yeah, you're like, hey,
even like this morning, like we're driving, right? And of course there's like all of NHRA is on tour on this road, and we keep passing rigs, and I'm I'm like, oh my God, my rig is up here. Like, that's mine. I own that. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. I agree. I would be like, oh wow, I'm 30 years old. I own something that is a sizable amount. Like I own a car and a house. You own like a top fuel car and a whole rig and all the parts and pieces that go in it. Yeah, you're like, what the? Yeah, that would be overwhelming for a lot of people.
Yeah. She owns Scott Graham.
It's a lot.
Like that's that's an that's an investment in itself. So
yeah, I guess you could say that.
Can I tell you, Scott is, and I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever told him this. I think Scott Graham might be my favorite person at the racetrack. He's certainly up there. Like he is one of the nicest, most willing to talk and teach people I've ever met in my life. Like I have learned more about fuel car. It has made me, in my opinion, an infinitely better announcer, broadcaster, whatever. Because he is like I can walk into that trailer anytime, ask a stupid question, and he will literally pull a chair up and say, "Sit down. Let me show you."
Yeah.
Oh wow, I need to go over there then.
He's an excellent teacher.
Yes.
I think one of the coolest parts of our relationships, obviously I've known him all my life, but when I get out of the car, I explain to him every single thing that I feel and every single thing that I think, hey, this wasn't right. I think we need to move this. Hey, I felt this, chucking at the top of end. What do you think it is? And of course, the computer never lies. That's the thing. That's the beauty of drag racing is like the driver can say whatever they want. The second they plug in that race pack and download the data, the computer never lies. And a lot of the time, he continuously tells me that he's very proud of like how quick I like grab, like if I smoke the tires or whatever, like I don't leave my foot in it, like I catch it really quick. And he's like, that's the cool part is like the communication between the two of us is just made me a better driver as well. And so I think it plus like he has to learn my driving style and I have to learn how he decides to tune the car and things like that. So the open communication is one of my favorite parts of the whole team.
Well, let me ask you this: being a young woman in your early 30s and owning a team and being the boss, how is it being a boss with all these, these men out here? And one of the things, like our sport is one of those things where the women beat the men all the time, and I think it's a crying shame that we don't promote the women in this sport and make them the superstars, because it's such an unbelievable dichotomy of like women can't drive. Yeah, you can. They beat the pants off the guys all the time. But being a team owner and all that, how is that world to traverse when you got to kind of like, hey guys, listen, remember I own this stuff, and you could be on the pavement here. I still have the last say in everything. How does that world work with all these old guys that are out there?
So last year I had I would say probably one of the worst years of racing for myself. Just between, my car not running well and knowing that I had to put on a show for my sponsors and show everyone that I can do it. I felt like I was being held back a lot, just on a few different aspects. And I obviously started asking other people like, hey, can I rent your car for the end of the season? Like I need to go out west and all the things. And there's been a few times where I'm not going to lie, like the guys in the sport, that team owners in the sport can really put you down. Like they're like, oh, we don't need to do that. You're just trying to fulfill some little silly dream. Like you don't need to go out west for this. And so that definitely fueled the fire to buy my own stuff. And it proved to myself that, I don't want to drive for someone else. I want to drive for myself. And there's a reason why Grandpa and my dad did it by themselves for so long, because you are the boss and you decide when to go and you decide how far you want to take that race car. And if I feel uncomfortable, I'll shut the car off, and Scoots will never yell at me for that. You know what I mean? So I got a huge wake up call last year, and Galvin knows a lot of the backstory of this, but it really tore me apart. I'm like, wow, I thought these people were my friends, and obviously they are not. And so it's kind of, not that I'm jaded, but I just, you know what, fine, I will do this on my own, and I will show you how I'm going to do this.
No, it's realism.
Yeah,
it's realistic. You are in bit. Like here's the thing that not enough people understand. You are in in business now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you own a top fuel car, if you drive a top fuel car, that is business. Whether you're renting the ride, you're in a partnership, you own the team. I don't care if you're a 100% ride buyer who brings all the sponsors. That's still a business deal. Like even those people, unless it's literally their own private business, if they're going out and finding sponsors to put them into cars, like all of those people have business built into that somehow. And that's not just a drag racing thing, okay? Like the IndyCar drivers who bring money to rent their Indy cars, if you don't think that there's a 20 or 25% cap on top of that for their personal salary for the year, like then you're fooling yourself. So like you have entered a world, and I think that's what happened last year, right? Was that like, I mean, you basically found out that, and it's something that a lot of us find out in racing, that the people who act all friendly and whatnot on the outside, I mean, they may be, but when it comes to business time,
they'll cut you.
Yes, very much so. They're selfish.
They totally
and
brushed me off. Yeah. Like it was to the point
100%.
where when I was gonna rent a car at the end of the year, I told the owner, I said, look, I will pay up front right now for 2 races if we go out west. I have to go out west because I have a sponsor obligation. And he said yes, and a week later he pulled the plug. Yeah. And then I was in scramble mode again. And then thankful that Johnny Otten, good friends of mine from the A-Field days, he let me borrow his car and take a couple laps in it. But it just, it's tough. It's cutthroat. And like I said, that kind of fueled the fire of, you know what, fine, I will do this on my own. And I will show them that I can do this. And I'm going to run 370s. And I also had another team owner. This was probably about a year and a half ago. We had shared sponsors, right? This team owner goes to the sponsor and says, why are you going to be on their team, on my team? She's just a participant. She's not a competitor. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
man, it is. It gets dirty, doesn't it?
Super, super dirty.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, you find out who your friends are, and you kind of have to look, man. Again, going back to being old, but that's all part of growing up. I own my own business, and I'm in the world of entertainment, and it's everybody is all about trying to make that dollar, and they don't care if I put an entertainer on an event and they know not to pass out any promotional information or whatever. And the guy who threw the party, hey, what's going on? Hey, can I book you direct? And everybody wants to book direct. And it's like, and I tell my guys, you book direct, you're never working for me again because I booked you on that. And, you got to just be friendly with the whole thing. But they don't care. And after the pandemic, oh my God, the almighty dollar is so, it doesn't go as far as it used to.
No, look,
and
the pandemic,
people will cut you out of their lives. And especially, I'm like, dude, you're only going to make $500. You really want to ruin a relationship over $500? Yeah. Okay. Hey, if that's how you want to do it. And I have entertainers that come to me all the time, like, hey, man, I want to go off and do my own thing. Oh, cool. As long as you do it the right way, say, Jason, thank you for the opportunity. I've learned a lot. I'm going to go off and do it on my own. And I wish them all the best in the world. And I will still book those people. But the ones that have gone away, and, my wife all the time, I say, listen, agents coming, or, talent comes and goes, but agents will always be here and they'll always be running the show. And, but yeah, and I mean, that's the hard part of life, man, of trying to figure out who your friends are, who you can trust, especially in this world, man. Oh yeah. God.
I had that comment up from Scott Purley that said, I hope a big money sponsor sees the value in you and your team, because the NHRA needs your energy and enthusiasm. And I don't know if you have ambitions or plans or would like to be at a point where you could run a full season for a championship, like down the road. I think you do, as you're shaking your head. So for those who listen, then yes. But like, this is literally a conversation Scoots and I had last weekend, like after the run Friday, where he turned and he's like, that's step one. I was like, step one towards what? And he's like, step one, we get the car to run that a couple times. Step two, we show up at a race and it runs that every time we start going rounds. And we get Krista out in front, and she's not just the pit reporter, walking through bubbly Krista Baldwin, but she's on TV going rounds and being competitive. And step three is we get one of these big companies that's not currently involved in NHRA drag racing to look at Krista like they did it at Leah Pruitt 10 years ago, right? Like, look at all the sponsors that Leah brought into the sport before she was, married to Tony and had all the Tony sponsors. Like, Leah was in a similar position Krista's in now. Like, she had to go out and find her sponsors and whatnot, and went out and found companies that were not drag racing. Like, she went and found Papa John's, right? It's not like Papa John's picked the phone up and called Leah and were like, hey, we think you're going to be a great drag racer one day.
Right.
Like, she went and found that, and that like exploded her career. And like, that's like, Scoots already has that in his head. Like, here are the steps we need to take to get to the point where Krista can pick up the phone, put a sponsorship package together, call somebody who's a non-endemic sponsor and say, here's why you need to be involved in this sport.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, growing up, obviously Leah's just a few years older than me, but she hustled her way through the top, and that's like very, not necessarily inspiring, but I look at it and it's cool now because we're buds and we're friends. And shoot, even after my 375 run, she shoot me a text like, hey, you're doing a good job, keep it up. It's just the respect of, not only the men but also the women, because the women can be cutthroat too. I'm not an alcohol dragster. Like, if you're a chick, like, good luck. Like, it is hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, every competitor in alcohol dragster is just as fierce as everyone in Top Fuel. And so, but all the girls, they bring their A game. Like, there is no like lesser woman in the NHRA. And so it's cool that like all of the women support each other, even though like it might not be shown like on TV and things like that. But we all, I mean, shoot, it's only me, Brittany, and now Jasmine in Top Fuel right now. Like,
and all three lost in the first round and crushed my drag racing bracket by Dan.
Stop it. Stop it.
Listen, I love it. I listen. I'm only upset because I want you, and I believe in you, and I want you to be as successful as you can get.
You're upset because you're going to lose out on the bet, and she didn't win the round.
I don't care. Listen, I am the absolute worst at this thing. I don't even care. I put the.
Did you actually pick your bracket this week, or did you go random again?
No, I picked it this weekend. I felt really good about my Top Fuel brackets, and I mean, listen, I went perfect in Pro Stock round 1, and then Erica died. Drag racing happened this weekend.
I will say, I had a proud moment this weekend. There's a fantasy league that I am involved in, totally separate of Elan's incredible drag racing bracket bonanza. It's an off the record, off the books deal. There are many professional racers who participate, and they have limits on how many times you can pick drivers throughout the year. So it's very strategic on how you go about this. And I had my pick in the final of all 3 pro categories this weekend.
Wow.
I felt good about that. Now, only one of them won. I won't tell you which one that was, but I felt good that I had all 3 in the finals. It was almost like a really, really awesome day. And it was just a pretty good day, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I love it. I believe in you and your whole story and the whole. I just love your energy out there. I love everything you bring, and I just think you're going to be awesome. And
I believe in Katie Butera's wardrobe. Can you? How many more shirts do you have to pull out before we run out?
How many more shirts do you have to pull out before we run out? We will never run out.
I love that.
I like Katie as well. Can you, Krista, give Katie's little when she's backed you up and then she gets you right there and then she gives you one? Can you give me one of those?
Oh,
the double gun show.
Double gun.
She's driving.
She can do it while she's. Yeah, she can do it.
You got it. There you go.
I love it. That's my favorite. See, I love all the ancillary crap that goes on around drag racing. And when I saw Katie back you up in Gainesville, and she was like, I was like, oh, there we go. I love it. I love that stuff. That's the fun.
It is, and that's the thing is like you gotta remember
Lee
we're
jumps
having
in.
fun.
Mom's closet. Okay, fair. Mom's closet. That's
Your
true.
mom said mom's closet for the shirts. She said, "Oh yeah." Yeah, Katie
awesome.
just said we couldn't do any of this without our mom. Hi, mom.
Yeah, hi, Mom. Hi, Paula. Yeah, enjoy the ride.
That's awesome. Well, Krista, thank you for taking time out of your day on your ride.
Yes.
Hopefully we made it a little more entertaining for you.
Hey, real quick, Jayla, I know we're running along, but I do want just one question I really want to ask because I didn't get a chance to ask you this at the track, and I'm genuinely curious. At what point after the run Friday did you stop and think about your dad? I know that had to have happened at some point.
The second, actually, on my way to to weigh the race car, was the time. Like, I had a tear coming down my eye thinking about it. So.
Were you driving the car? You were in the car by yourself?
Yep, I drive the car to and from the pit, and because another part. I think it's cool to be a driver, and that is your car, and you should drive it.
Yes.
And tow it and be the person. Don't have someone else do it. You do it. And so
I don't disagree.
I always take that time, because especially my crew guys can't really hear me because I'm in the race car and they're up in the tow vehicle. But no, after the run, waiting to get on the scales, that was the moment that I was thinking about it. I'm like, dang, how far have we come after all of this?
Yeah, that's
Good
awesome.
Deal. Good deal.
Yeah, Krista, you
put a tear in my eye, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I'll be on. I legitimately thought about that before you made the turn. That was the first thing that ran through my head was Bobby would be losing his mind right now. Yeah,
I know.
A cool deal. It's a cool deal. Cool deal.
Super cool.
Yeah.
She's the best. We love her.
I love her. We love her. Everybody loves her.
You guys.
No, listen. We need, and this sport needs a million more of yous. That's all I'm saying.
God bless that. Yes.
Yeah, we just need more people that are just love the sport, that have the energy and the passion for it that you do, and your whole family does. And
it's coming too. Last week, I thought I firmly believe. I had this thought over the weekend. I firmly believe that we will look back at last weekend 10 years from now, and God, I hope I'm right on this, and think there was a weekend that really helped to kind of kickstart and propel the next chapter of NHRA stars and drivers, because you had Krista with the new car go out there, and she's no longer whatever the term was that person used.
A participant.
She's no longer a participant. She's now a competitor, right? Statement made. And you had Jasmine, I thought, in 1 week make insane leaps,
Yep.
Yes.
I mean,
she rocked it. She did such a good job this weekend.
Correct. And Travis, for as many people as want to talk shit about Travis, and I have an issue with that, because he's out there doing the same thing that you did at one point, and so many others are out there trying to do. Newsflash, dude had his race car at the Capitol with the governor sitting in on Thursday. Now, I ran through my memory bank, and I ran all the way back to 1950 never, that I could remember a time that the day before a national event, somebody had their race car at the state capitol with the governor sitting in it. So
he's been killing it. I mean, he's doing such a good job promoting himself, promoting his partners, promoting the sport as a whole. I mean, Arizona
Correct.
Lottery was on the side of his car. I mean, that's just insane.
Fry's food stores,
it's huge.
For those of you who watch that race and don't know Fry's, I went to college at ASU. Fry's in Phoenix, in Arizona, is the equivalent of Kroger in the Midwest. It's Ralph's on the West Coast. It's Publix in Florida. Literally, that is the biggest supermarket chain in the state. Yeah, them, the Arizona State Lottery, Lerner and Rowe is one of the biggest national attorney chains in the country. None of them know shit about NHRA drag racing until Travis Shoemake came along. Let's just call it what it is.
And that car looked awesome.
Fire.
It
Gorgeous race car. And they did not make fools of themselves. And I thought that was cool. The car went out there. They didn't run 380 at any point. Okay. But in round one, that car made a representative run in round one to about 700 feet. And I'm pretty sure Travis could see that the other car was at the finish line. He missed the tree a little bit. First round of competition, I get it. And he probably just lifted down there. But that was it. They didn't blow it up. They didn't oil the track. They didn't have issues with it. The car went up there, started, made a burnout, made a run. Every single time they rolled it the line, it looked good doing it. And I think, at least I hope, 10 years from now that we're talking about Travis Shoemake and Jasmine Salinas and Krista Baldwin and Austin Prock winning funny car, and Bobby Bodie went rounds at a track where he goes to college. And we're looking back at that weekend going, hey, you guys remember the weekend that all of these kids, kids at least by, in the world of our sport, everybody's kids, went out there and kicked ass. I really think that could be that weekend, honestly.
I agree.
It was a great weekend, man. I love it.
Jim was genuinely surprised at all the Shoemake swag. And let me tell you why I wasn't genuinely surprised. Trip Shoemake was like a hero in that town.
Yes.
When he was alive. And like I don't know, I think because all of us in racing just say Trip Shoemake and assume that like people know who he is and what he is. But like Trip Shoemake was a phenomenal funny car driver. Like world-class funny car driver, and he died in a motorcycle accident. It was not his fault. Like I want to say really early 90s or late 80s. And that is Travis's dad. And his mom Susie was out there all weekend. Like the Shoemake family is like, if you are a drag racing fan in Arizona, Trip Shoemake was your guy back in the day.
By the way, at all. I know you said that for those of you who are out there who didn't know him, but why don't you say Jason, if you don't know this guy, because I know you were directing that at me.
Jason looks like, who's Trip Shoemake?
I'm like, in my head, I'm going, thank you, Jason, for telling me who that is. So I'm smarter now. So I don't act like I don't know who Trip is.
Hey, snap world fact of the day. Come on now.
There it is.
There you go.
I love it. Oh, Krista, we can't wait to see you today.
J-Lo's got to get the more you know tone plugged into the show.
Oh, you know what?
You know.
That would be really cool. Let me see if you can hear it. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's playing in my ears.
Oh, yeah. No, never mind. Okay, we'll work on that.
Next show, Jason. Next show. Hold on. Maybe we can make it happen now. Krista, you are freaking awesome. I love seriously.
Thank you.
Say that because you're on the show, but you have been a delight every time we see you out there. I want everything good to happen for you in everything. So
thank you for battling through your connection issues too. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out until I got back.
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. I made it happen. Yay! Oh wait, it's gonna keep playing. Stop playing. All right.
That's what happens when you ask Jason Logan to improvise something.
Hey, things happen.
Yeah.
So Krista, hey, listen, if you ever want to shoot
travels.
the t-shirt, if you ever want to shoot the t-shirt cannon, feel free, or tell Katie to come shoot it. We need more people to shoot the cannon.
They just said you could shoot the t-shirt cannon. Oh, yes. 5 stars. Yes.
When she's done with her duties with you for the day, she can come shoot the cannon.
Hey, give me a warning before you let her do that.
You can go shoot it.
Give me a warning before you let Katie do it, because if I'm on the starting line, she'll hit me in the back of the head when I'm not looking. Okay, so you gotta give me that warning.
All right, Krista, you guys drive safe. We'll see you in Vegas, and we're excited, super pumped.
Yes.
All right, thanks guys for having me. I appreciate it.
See you this weekend.
See you soon.
See ya.
Why is she just the best? I mean,
because she is. Because she is.
I love it.
It's been like that forever, by the way. That's like not it's not a manufactured. I tell people that it's not manufactured. Krista Baldwin's world is just like John Force is not manufactured. I tell people that too, right? Like I was in Austin Proxhauler Sunday night after the race, and John walked in, and I was like, you know what I love about John Force? John Force is John Force at 9:00 on a Sunday night with nobody around. Like, I mean, same John Force. Like, just like he got out of the car on Saturday after he won the race.
Listen, he intimidates me, man. I shut up when he's around. Well, here's why. Because
he likes you for what it's worth. He really does. He likes you.
He does?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he thinks you're funny.
Okay, cool. Well then, all right, very good then. Because back in the day when I was doing driver intros before the pandemic, and before everybody started calling him the GOAT, I started calling him the GOAT. And this is when Elon was working for him. And Elon goes, dude, you do understand he has absolutely no idea what that means. Right? maybe Elon wasn't working for him, but he just, he's worked for him.
It's probably Densmore. It's probably like, you realize that he actually thinks you're calling him a GOAT, right? Like
right. Well, he did. And he went to Glenn and told Glenn, hey, listen, man, I'm just going to try to win races. And for that guy to call me the GOAT, and he calls me that guy all the time. And so Glenn came up and he goes, hey man, I know what you're doing, and he is the GOAT. He just doesn't understand it stands for greatest of all time yet, but he will understand it. He goes, but just call him John Force. I was like, okay, back to John Force. but yeah, he intimidates the shit out of me, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere near him. So yeah, I listen.
Denzi and Elon Force stories. That's a. Not Elon Force. There's a comma there or a separation. But yes, Denzi and Elon stories.
Too.
Correct. Yeah. Well, she's probably working and trying to busily type that in while not getting caught. That's what we need. You know what we need to figure out? Like, you know how the March Madness app has one of those boss buttons?
Right.
We need one of those. Boss
Yeah,
button.
let's
You got to talk to StreamYard about that because WFO could probably use that too. FCC reports. That's fun. Wow. Hey, things I don't miss about working in local television. Sweeps and that.
I had my radio engineer license, and I had to take the tower reads and all that crap every hour, all that stuff. That was super fun.
God bless.
Yeah.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Yeah.
The Chasing Logan Radio Network.
Hey, it's Mix 105.1, picking you up, making you feel good all day long, playing the best from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Here's a little Gloria Stefan for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, baby, tell me. By the way, I'm going to say this. I'm going to warn everybody. In the Admirals Club, leaving on Sunday, Justin Ashley showed up in there, and his dad, and there was a bunch of people, and it was a great conversation. Justin goes, "Hey, man, what happened to you singing karaoke all the time up there?" And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You're not singing anymore." I go, "Yeah, Hannah hates it." He goes, "Dude, I love it when you're back there singing songs and all that stuff." And I go, "Oh, you do? Okay." So I'll be singing more often just for Justin Ashley. Just in case you guys hate it, just tune me out on .tv.
It's funny that you said Gloria Stefan because I can literally only name one song she ever sang in her life. And it's not even a Gloria Stefan song. It's a Miami Sound Machine song.
Oh, yeah.
So
there you go. What about Mix 105.1? Here's a great hit from Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire.
You know what's funny about Billy Joel? Like, okay, true story. I don't get Billy. There are two people I don't get the hype on: Billy Joel and Bruce Springsteen.
I don't get the hype on Bruce Springsteen, but it's a Jersey thing and it's a Long Island.
Is that
thing,
what it is?
That's
and I'm not saying neither of them are not good or not talented. Like there are like, you know, I think Piano Man's a great song. We Didn't Start the Fire is a great song, right? Born in the USA, Born to Run, like those are great songs.
Right.
I don't get like, oh my God, Bruce Springsteen was in Phoenix 2 weeks ago, and I went to college there, so I had some friends who went, and they were like, "This is the greatest thing ever," and they're like 28, and I'm like, "Really? That's the greatest thing ever?" Because I've seen the Rolling Stones, and apparently you don't know what the greatest thing ever is, because Mick buries Bruce Springsteen, but that's just.
By the way, listen, if you've never seen Billy Joel, like my wife's from Long Island, she appreciates Billy Joel. But I'm like, hey. You want to fly to New York to see Billy Joel before he ends his residency at Madison Square Garden? She goes, "No, I don't need to." I go, "Why not?" She goes, "It's not that entertaining. He's not that great." I go, "Are you out of your mind? I've seen him like 4 or 5 times. And he puts on an unbelievable show. Unbelievable.
I'm sure he does, but I could legitimately only name like 3 of his songs, and I don't want to listen to somebody for 2.5 hours in person if I only know 3 songs.
Yeah, see, my generation, we Scenes from Italian Restaurant, I'm Moving Out, Piano Man.
There's one.
Vienna. Yeah, there's a million of them.
Nope,
dude.
You're 1 for 4.
Yeah, listen, they're all amazing.
I love classic
Moving Out.
Rock. I've seen the Stones 4 times. I've seen Queen a couple times. Like, I love classic rock. Like, I've seen Elton John 3 times. Like,
see, I've seen Elton John 3 or 4 times too with Billy. But he did a tour with Billy Joel, so I saw him there. But Billy Joel blows Elton John away. Sorry, it just is not even funny. But then you got to know the songs to like the show too. So he does. Don't start. Elton John just sits behind his piano. Billy Joel runs around, does his thing.
Good for him. Elton John's music is better.
Ugh, I don't know about that.
Significantly, I would argue.
No, it's not better. No,
I would argue.
Okay, I'll give you all his music he did for Disney. Sure, it's better than Billy Joel's music he did for Disney.
Billy Joel did music for Disney?
He sang 1 song. Listen,
probably explains it.
I know. Listen, Elton John. I mean, what Elton John do you like better than? All right, give me your favorite Elton John song.
Oh,
and it can be a hit. I don't even care.
Your song's pretty good.
Your song, fantastic. But your song and Billy Joel's got one just as good as your song. What's the song?
Piano Man.
Not Piano Man.
No.
She's got a way about her. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Can I tell you that? Can I tell you the Elton John song that I think is like incredibly underrated?
Go.
And it's not a hit at all. And it is phenomenal in concert. Indian Summer.
Okay.
which
That's
you've
a
probably
good song.
literally never heard of. Okay, yeah, but like
It's a good
Indian Summer in concert is like an out of body experience because it's like 8 or 9 minutes when they play it fully through, and it's like watching a movie on stage. Just gonna
Okay.
throw that out there.
See, here's another thing. Like I grew up, my mom, we all grew up in Florida, and my mom loved the Beach Boys. So I listened to the Beach Boys. You know who I didn't listen to? The Beatles. So I grew up
Interesting.
thinking the Beach Boys were way better than the Beatles. And I'm like, come on, man. I go, what are we talking about here? The Beach
Yeah, they're
Boys.
not.
They're
And I
not.
like I'm from California. I like the Beach Boys, but they're
Right.
not better than the Beach
But you cannot say Pet Sounds is not one of the best albums ever. Pet Sounds is an amazing, a top 10 album of all time from the Beach Boys.
I saw the Beach Boys at Stagecoach a couple years ago.
Was
That was cool.
what's his name playing drums?
I don't remember.
What's
to
his
be
name?
honest.
The guy from Full House. What's his name?
Yeah.
I'm getting old
I know.
with that.
You're killing me.
But
yeah.
but Rubber Soul's a fantastic album too. It's top 10. Rubber Soul, stop it with, they'll be going down the road of hating the Beatles. Rubber Soul, fantastic. John Stamos, thanks, Nicole. I knew you'd know that.
Yes.
I
could see the hair. I literally in my head could see the hair.
Uncle Jesse, thank you.
Yes.
But dude, we could go down this road all day long. Like I think
I like that our viewer count has actually gone up as we've started talking about classic rock. We're 30 minutes over what a normal episode is talking about classic rock, and people are I appreciate that. People actually
but yeah, it's listen, there's so much good, there's all kinds of good music out there, and I love it. But Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique, probably one of the best albums ever. All the sampling they did, come on, dude.
I love Beastie Boys, yeah.
4 and 3 and 2 and 1. When I rock the mic, the suckers run. Word. Diamond Mike D and Mike D and you ain't. I got more juice than Picasso's got paint.
Are you a Tiny Desk fan? NPR Tiny Desk?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay. Did you see Cypress Hill on there a couple weeks ago?
Oh no, I did not. That would be awesome.
Like badass Cypress Hill.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that today. Yeah. But the best Tiny Desk, Juvenile. When he sings "Back That Ass Up," oh my God, that, and then the Justin Timberlake one, because Justin's on a new tour. Justin Timberlake Tiny Desk was pretty good too.
Tiny Desk is unbelievable. Louis Capaldi,
I saw that one. That was good.
He's funny.
Yeah,
like he's funny. I laughed my ass off during that one, like in between songs. But
what a great concept, Tiny.
Oh my God,
you're in here. Let's bring every major artist in here. Taylor Swift was actually pretty good too.
That is a national treasure.
It really is.
Tiny Desk is a national treasure.
Yeah. Holy crap. Hold on. Please don't start that fire. Scott, come on, man. By the way, I did not hear Dexy's Midnight Runner once in Phoenix. I think
because you don't get to the track at 7 a.m.
Oh yeah, good call. He plays that right there early. We didn't get to it on Sunday. He was Alan, our boss hates.
Oh no, he played it Sunday. He played it Sunday.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, at 7:30 when we were calling Super Street to the lanes. You were asleep still.
Yeah, our boss hates that to the point where I've had to come up with multiple playlists to counteract that.
So the real story on that, here's an inside baseball. People love that part of this show, right? Here's an inside baseball. The reason why people might have noticed that our iPad music, which is what we play very early in the day, or late in the afternoon when the truck is not up and running, has changed dramatically this year from years past. And that's because Jason Logan put together a playlist that is like 3,700 songs deep.
Yeah, it's like 48 hours long.
And it's broken down and categorized by, genres and whatnot, but you can put it on shuffle. That's why when people on Friday were like, I'm loving the classic country, it's because we didn't figure out that we had to put on shuffle and it was sorted by genre. And so we got 3.5 hours of Toby Keith, Brooks and Dunn, like Martina McBride, which was fine. Like Matt DeYoung loved it. I was entertained, but sure, everybody else got tired of it. See, they heard Dexy's Midnight Runner.
Scott heard it.
And so what happened was in Pomona, Jordan Vance, who produces our show now, looked over at Alan Reinhart in the middle of the rain delay and said, press play. Like Alan didn't hear him, and Jordan got annoyed and was annoyed at everything at that point. And he looked at me and just said, press play. And Alan, for those of you who don't know, is a bit of a smartass. I know. Breaking news,
Shocking.
Alan Reinhart's a smartass. Alan Reinhart pressed play. Now, he knew what Jordan meant, but the very first song on the playlist is Come On Eileen on the iPad. Like, it's not even on Jason's playlist. It's just that was the first thing on the iPad.
Right.
And because Sunday morning Alan played his 4 songs and we went into pre-race, that it had cycled back to Alan's playlist. And so Alan reached over with a big ass grin on his face and just went dink, and pressed play.
Yeah.
Come On Eileen came on in the middle of the afternoon, and Jordan was like, and Alan and I lost our shit.
Yeah, Alan loves doing that crap.
He and I laughed for like 5. We laughed through the whole song. We couldn't stop laughing because hey, you said press play, Jordan. So we press. So that's part of where that came from. Was now we have all that music with a shuffle.
Yeah, the best is Jordan Vance is 23, a newly graduated from Indiana University, and he is taking over the reins of calling the show. Hey, we'll slow it down to Galvin. Let's do it. You know, Jason, get ready to do this stuff. And it's tough because you got to know what you got in the bag and which videos you can throw to or what game you can throw to, things like that. So he's learning on the fly, and he's doing a really, really good job of it.
Yes.
But
really good job.
On Sunday or whatever, like we have to do ticket renewals, and it's, you know, it's just like, hey, we got to do ticket renewals. And he comes on the radio in the afternoon on Sunday. It might have been Saturday. He goes, J-Lo, we need to do a ticket renewal. And I go, okay, right back to him. And I'm like, what? I go, why are you being so nasty on the radio? And he comes back upstairs and he goes, you know, never in my wildest dreams did I realize that I was going to have to, he goes, soft parent a bunch of grown ass men. And I go, and Evan was standing there, heard it. And I go, Jordan, welcome to entertainment, my man. He goes, I go, we all have egos and we're all going to give you shit because we know how to do this job way more than you do. But we're not sitting in the seat. So when you give us crap, we're going to give it right back to you. But yeah, he goes, we got to do a ticket renewal. And I go, okay.
Jordan takes
goes, what was that for? And I go, did you hear how nasty he was? I go, for no reason.
Jordan takes it well.
Oh, he does.
That's a high pressure spot. People don't realize that.
No, it's like you're calling like
live event production is high pressure. It really is.
Calling a show. It's making
it really
happen.
is. Like I think we all wear it pretty well because if you don't wear it well, then you're unemployed in this business. But it's you know, there's a lot. As I tell people, I must have got asked this like 6 times this weekend, like what's wrong or smile or like whatever, like from like racers or team owners who would walk up on the starting line, and I tell people, and it's not even resting bitch face. It's just like I usually am up there like this, like you know, like sunglasses on, looking down track, locked on, and like I tell people, I'm like usually I'm like right up until the cars launch, I'm like zoned out thinking about what's next, what do we need to do, where are we going. I'm listening to Alan, so I know what's going on, so I can relate on the starting line because something I'm not seeing. You know, I'm thinking about where I'm going after a run. Okay, Jordan's in my ear. We're going long. Jordan's talking to J-Lo. J-Lo's calling me over. Like, there's a lot going on. Like, so I tell people that and for some reason this weekend specifically, I guess I just look like a grumpy ass all weekend or something because people like ad nauseum were walking up like, "What's wrong? Smile."
Right.
You're at a racetrack, and I'm like, I'm having a great time. I'm working.
Yeah, we're working here.
It's like when you put your helmet on and strap into the car. Like, I don't climb into the passenger seat and tell you to smile, right? Like, you know, same
and when we have our earbuds in our ears,
yeah,
there's a whole show going on there,
nonstop. Those are those earbuds that we wear. The molded deals in the starting line are not just there to keep our ears from blowing out. There is audio in our ears, and the radios are loud, so we hear it nonstop. Like the Top Fuel cars launch, and I never don't hear Alan, and I stand between the cars, like so. Nonstop, something going on in our ear.
There is a radio in our ear telling us what to do, why we did it. Why did you do it that way? Why do you suck today? Why don't you get better at your job? You're the worst. And at the end of the day, hey, you did a good job today. Well, dude, I get it. Heat of the moment, bro. Slow down. You know, it's like, why? Keep the t-shirts in the stands. What's the matter with you? It's the best. Yeah, if you guys listen one day, if you that I mean that's a whole show. Like pre-race show in our ears, that's a whole nother show. We're like, Joe, are you backstage? Joe's talking to somebody else. Can anybody see Joe? Can I go? I'm getting ready to
Keep
go.
It moving. Keep it moving.
I'm calling
We're 2 minutes
tracks.
behind.
Yeah,
we're 2 minutes behind. Keep it moving. Hey,
racing.
we're ahead. We're ahead. Joe, we're ahead 3 minutes. Slow it down.
Slow down. We have no pro stock drivers back yet.
Yeah. By the way, if you're wondering why J-Lo and I are talking over each other, is because that's literally what's happening in our ear. It's not like we're having, like, literally 20 seconds apart. We're 2 minutes behind. Okay, we're 3 minutes ahead. Like 45 seconds went by in real life. How did that happen?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think I just did it one race, and I just started going, "Hey, Joe, you're good on time. You're good on time."
Yes,
hey,
yeah, you're actually great about that.
And I'm like, and I totally. It seems like that's become my thing. I'm like, Joe, you're on time. All right, you're good. Joe, you need to hurry up, get back there, because I'm going. And then one of my new favorite things is when you guys do the hero coins and stuff, and I play the Top Gun thing. Joe's gotten it good. You did it good. Your talk up was really good, but I want you to get to that crescendo part in the Top Gun music,
right?
Where Goose when Maverick throws
Goose's dog tags.
Yeah, that's where I want you to be, just and build it up right to da 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 da. Joe hit it one time, and I got on the radio and go, "That's what I'm talking about, Joe." Yeah, because I love hitting post. Hitting the post is like my favorite thing ever, because I used to do radio, and that's just it builds. But yeah, that bit's getting fun for me now, just to play the music.
Good.
And then I play the Fireman by George Strait for the fire department coffee thing, and I realized, and I started really listening to the lyrics. He goes, "Call me the fireman," because I'm putting out old flames. I'm like realizing that's all about him,
women,
women, not anything about heroes or anything.
Okay,
like
have you ever listened to Matt Hagen? While we're talking about this, now we're going way long, but people are still here. So yeah, whatever. Have you ever listened to Matt Hagen's theme song?
Which one? The Ride the Lightning or the new one he's got?
Yeah. No, Ride the Light.
Ride the Light. Yeah, we got a new theme song for Matt Hagen.
Do we? Okay.
Yeah, but Matt,
have you ever listened to the lyrics of that song?
Yeah. I did. I think
it's about dying in the electric chair.
I think that's why his sponsors wanted him to have a new theme song.
Is that what happened? I was did they? Okay, because literally, I listened to that song there's a while. I was like, this song's pretty catchy, and then I started listening to it, and it was like, I'm pretty sure this is about dying in the electric chair.
Right. Yeah. It's so much fun. All those songs are all...
The drivers do. That's a great question. The drivers do pick their walk during pre-race. If we have number one qualifiers and we play music specific for them, or when we do the Mission Foods intros, the drivers, J-Lo, and most of this dates back to when we did Friday night Nitro Under the Lights, whatever the hell we called that, where we did intros for every driver, right? Which I was a part of a little bit, but J-Lo has a list of preference songs for each driver, and he's got them. They're probably in your system named, right? So you just type in a driver's name that pulls the song up. Yeah. And J-Lo, especially Mission Foods is a great example for that challenge, especially last weekend at Phoenix, where we do the individual intros, and the cars have to make that turn. So we're doing those before they make the turn. And J-Lo and I literally communicate, in our ears over the radios. All right, here comes, pro stock is 2 pairs away. It's going to be Erica Enders first, and then Greg Anderson. Second pair back is Dallas Glenn, and then Troy Coughlin Jr. That's a constant communication between Jason Logan and myself specifically, to make sure that when we get to that point and Jordan jumps in our ear and says, "Are you ready for intros?"
Right.
Boom. Let's go. So that's a great question. Drag Racing Mayhem.
Doug
yes, they do.
He has a good one. The Metallica Inner Sandman. I think Austin Prock has a fantastic one. I Got Love.
I got love.
Yes. Erica's is really good. She Paint the Town Red. Yeah. Angie Smith does the Pretty Girls Walk Like This.
Yep.
All the pretty girls walk like this. And listen, the more fun, what's her name? Alexis. She's got Nothing But a G Thing, baby.
I really liked Leah's when she was racing.
Leah's was good. Tick, tick, boom. That was, by the way, that was a Nicole Erickson suggestion.
Was it really interesting?
Yep. She texted. By the way, I have all these. Well, I don't have all these. There's a handful full of people that have my number, and Nicole is one of them. And she'll send texts like, "Hey, are you gonna play this for me? Hey, play this for so and so when they come up. Hey, play this." They're requesting songs all day long.
I started getting
Rose.
I started getting challenges on Friday during the downtime. Like, hey, you should work in the lyrics to X band and I I was looking at my phone, so I didn't see him until after I was off. I was like, damn, that actually would have been fun.
That would be fun.
I think one of them was Metallica. I think one of them was working Metallica lyrics into a song, and I was just like, or into a race. And I was like, man, how could I do that? Like, first off, which song would I pick? Like,
Yeah. Oh, she picked this one too. She sent this one, "Blow." It's Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, and Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, no. So I heard that so I hadn't heard that song, and then you started playing it, and I literally texted, or I think I got on the radio. I said, "Who is that?" And you like, "I'll text it to you." So yeah, it's on my phone now. It's on my playlist. Isn't that what you play going into Top Fuel?
A bunch of times, yeah.
Yeah, that's usually your Top Fuel intro song. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
That song, and it sound checks when I'm at places. I crank that song up, and people are like, "Oh my god, that song's so good!" It is really good.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a wealth of information. She should be a contributor. Maybe we'll have her on the show one day.
Let's do it.
Maybe if she you got that Clark copper seal thing.
Head gaskets.
Maybe
gasket. If you knew how to pronounce them, they would sponsor us.
Well, maybe she should work on that and get us a sponsorship deal, and then I'll know how to pronounce it better.
It's usually it's the other way around. Usually,
I did a really good live read on it that one.
You did a great live read on it. In fairness,
I'm just saying. Anyways, all right, I gotta go. I gotta pee.
Yeah.
I gotta go pick my kid up. And,
yeah, actually, me too. Ironically, yes. Let's go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm sorry we kept you guys here all day long, but suck it. We had a good time today. There we go.
I was like, we can't hear you anymore.
That was so loud, so impressive. Anyways, Vegas this weekend. If you see us there, come get stickers. We're handing out stickers all weekend long in Phoenix. So again, thank you guys. It was a fun show. I love it. Krista Baldwin, we had a good time with her. Jason Galvin, when do you get into Phoenix?
Thursday afternoon. I don't remember, but I'm working on our schedule for the weekend.
All right, perfect. I get in like 1:30, I think.
I'm some similar time, I believe.
Perfect. All right, cool. I'll see you then. And everybody have a fantastic week.